As a Vancouver Canucks fan, and not really just a Vancouver Canucks fan, as a passionate Vancouver Canucks fan, this has been profoundly disheartening to see and witness the team's trajectory this season. We entered the 2024 to 2025 campaign with high hopes, especially after last year's impressive 109-point finish and a strong playoff run. However, as of March 7th, 2025, our record stands at a middling 27, 22, and 11, reflecting a team mired in inconsistency and far from the contenders we aspired to be. What went wrong? What happened? It's a question we've all been asking. And in this episode, we hope to outline just exactly what went wrong with the Vancouver Canucks. Welcome back to Off the Rink. General Manager Patrick Allvin's tenure has been quite a perplexing mix of strategic foresight and questionable decisions. I will say this, the JT Miller trade I was pretty positive of. I think the decision to trade Miller to the Rangers was significant. I think I like the return for it. Hedo's looked very solid for us. Mancini has looked very solid for us. The first round pick that we flipped from Marcus Pettersson, I think that move and how Allvin navigated that situation this season particularly was a very good thing and a very good look on management, because I think they reached into a pile of garbage and got assets for it, which essentially in a lot of ways is impressive. And obviously the addition of Drew O'Connor added depth to our forward roster, but I will say this, we shouldn't have been here in the first place. I mean, it goes back to free agency of last year, where I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, we lost Zadorov, oh, we lost Lindholm, that's why everything has gone to kind of crap now, but I would disagree. I think losing Zadorov wasn't necessarily our choice. He chose to walk. Lindholm, I don't think he'd have been a great X factor here, but we didn't do enough to address our defensive issues in free agency, and we paid the price for like a good majority of the season so far. I mean, you look at our D-Corp, we had at one point like Forbert, we had Juleson. It was not good, and it was very uneasy for us. And I think management for deploying such a lineup, that's probably the main reason out of any reason that the Canucks have just been so bad this year, quite frankly. And obviously, the questionable free agency signings. We had Derek Forbert signed to a one-year deal. He's been really minimal. He's kind of a pylon out there. I think anyone that watches him could attest to that. Desharnais, I mean, he's on his third team this season. I think there's a good reason for that. He just got flipped to San Jose. No one really wanted him, and we had a 2-year massive contract that we handed out to him to replace the size Zadorov had. Did that work out? Absolutely not. Danton Heinen as well was just like a complete non-factor in the lineup. And these are the players that we thought were the answer. And I mean, on paper, it's not terrible, but just why did they think this was the lineup that would defeat the Oilers, let alone make the playoffs? I don't know. I'm not very sure. And obviously, they had an opportunity to address that with the Miller trade, and for the most part they did, but they had an even bigger opportunity that they completely missed with this trade deadline. And it was a crucial juncture for the Canucks to address glaring issues, yet the team's inactivity was quite glaring. I mean, Carson Soucy to New York for a third, I like that. I think it frees up cap space. I think the San Jose pick in particular, that's a high third, pretty much a second. But still, nonetheless, for that to be your massive move when you have expiring contracts, like Boeser, we kind of went over that in the last video. We'll link it in the description. As well as players like Pius Suter on expiring deals with no extension in sight. What the hell are you doing? By just kind of hoping the ship doesn't sink there and just kind of riding it out. I'm not too sure. And quite frankly, we need to address another issue of why the Canucks just are not the same this year, and it's player performance, shadows of their former selves. Look at Brock Boeser, for example. he just had a very inconsistent performance this season, and he still wants around $8 million. I'm not too sure how the Canucks are going to navigate that. Good luck. Elias Pettersson, obviously, we could make 20 videos on how Elias Pettersson has been detrimental to this team and probably has, in my honest opinion, the worst contract in the NHL relative to performance. Once a linchpin, our offense has just absolutely gone dark on us. And quite frankly, Pettersson's struggles have been both baffling and detrimental. Yet baffling. His inability to even shoot the puck has left a void in our offensive strategy, contributing to our scoring wows, which has just... I don't want to go off script too much for this one, but this guy needs to wake up. $11.6 million to play like a glorified Pia Suter is indefensible. And I understand that he's had a history of streaking. He's had 1 year off, 1 year good. But when you're committing that much money to a player, he needs to show up regardless of any mental issues. I couldn't understand what's going on in his life. I don't know if it's a confidence issue. We don't know if it was knee tinnitus, but he needs to show up on a nightly basis for this team to get anywhere in the future. And if he can't do that, we need to ship him off as soon as possible, quite frankly. And that is not hysteria. That is simple facts. And also, I want to be critical of Rick Tocchet here. He was coach of the year last year. Now I'm going to mount some criticism on him. He looks like he's a microcosm of the Canucks' decline. He's lost, 6 of the last 7 games? I don't know, something like that. With both offensive and defense flattering, the dump and chase system that he employs doesn't work. We know this, and he looks like the second coming of Travis Green. So it's just really a journey of Canuckism. We have 1 good year, and we're kind of back to the jet black gym days of Travis Green and not doing anything in free agency. It's just, if I said the word disheartening, I don't think it'd do enough justice to how this team is in its current state. Overall, this season has really been a roller coaster of emotions. With highs that gave us hope, I guess. The young guys coming in has been good, and I think that'll be kind of a note of optimism to leave to next season. Lakari Maki, Mancini, obviously, Tom Willander. Those are players that I think we can look forward to seeing in the lineup next year, and I think that'll be huge for us going forward. But as of right now, the management's questionable decision to do nothing at the trade deadline and not do enough in free agency, and Rick Tocchet's questionable system, Elias Pettersson performing like a $3 million player, and no top offense, no scoring wows, and just overall everything combined, even Demko not playing to his top level, has culminated in this narrative that we didn't foresee. Last year, we were supposed to be perennial cup contenders. What happened? As fans, we hold on to the belief that the lessons will be learned, and the Canucks will rise from this period of uncertainty to reclaim the promise we've been waiting for. But can that happen? I guess it's all up to them. Just personally, I'm going to be writing this season off. I don't care if the Canucks make it to the playoffs this year. Good for them. They're going to get absolutely decimated by the Jets in the first round, which I guess would be another layer of torture to add to this terrible, probably one of the worst seasons in Canucks history. Just overall, it's been rough. It's been really rough for the Canucks. It's been really rough for the fan base who expects more of a team, the city, that was so full of enjoyment, surprise that the team could take a team like the Oilers to Game 7 is just now absolutely trash, to say the least. I'm not giving up on this team, obviously, in the long run, but right now things don't look fun, and I think I understand if you jump off ship a little bit. But overall, that's it. Off the rink. Thank you guys for tuning in to our last episode. And we look forward to uploading more hockey, maybe basketball. We don't know, content onto this channel. Mainly hockey, obviously. But not just Canucks stuff as well. A lot of NHL stuff. We could talk about Mikko Rantanen trade, which is crazy and something we should have maybe looked at. Wink, wink. But there's a lot that we want to talk about on this channel, so thank you guys. Make sure you like, you subscribe, put a notification bell on, and keep your stick on the ice.